All my bags are packed. I'm ready to go. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Just quoting from a John Denver song, because this story is about students who are dreaming of leaving on a jet plane to study in the US, in an Ivy League school. There are thousands who dream about it, but many may have to reconsider because an Ivy League education just got way more expensive. How expensive? Try 90,000 US dollars every year. 90,000 US dollars. Let me put this in perspective. If you're enrolled in a 4-year program at Harvard or Princeton, it will cost you 450,000 US dollars. That's almost $500,000. And not like it was cheaper earlier. Before the tuition hike, these colleges typically charged around 80,000 US dollars per year. And while you grab a chair because your head might be reeling, let me explain what's an Ivy League. It's a group of 8 elite private schools. They're all based in the northeastern part of the US. Look at this map. They're Brown University, Columbia University, Cornell University, Dartmouth College, Harvard University, Princeton University, University of Pennsylvania, and Yale University. These schools enroll between 5,000 to 15,000 undergraduates. They also have postgraduate courses. Harvard and Columbia are the biggest schools. They get the maximum number of students. Dartmouth is the smallest. Fun fact, these Ivy League schools that are now considered to be the holy grail of education started out as an American collegiate athletic conference. Now, several thousands apply every year to study in these colleges. Only a select few get the chance. The acceptance rate is usually less than 7%, but securing the admission is just half the battle won. If you don't have a modern-day benefactor like Charles Dickens's Pip in The Great Expectations, or parents who can bankroll your education, then you have to rely on financial aid from these colleges, like grants and scholarships. There's no doubt that an Ivy League education would make your resume shine, because there is truth to the trope that where you study is just as important as what you know. Sundar Pichai, Indira Nooyi, Sheryl Sandberg, Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, do you know what's common between them? An Ivy League school, even if some of them dropped out of it. Because these prohibitively expensive institutes are also among the world's best. So there's definitely bang for your buck, but only if you have the buck in the first place. And most in America don't. So as the cost of tuition climbs, a basic right like education is becoming unaffordable for many. Higher education enrollment in the US has been declining. In 2010, it was 21 million. By 2021, it was down to 18 million. The drop is steady, if not drastic. Americans are ditching school and joining the workforce early, preferring to earn rather than learn. Many decide against a college degree because it comes with debt. Student debt is a very big deal in the US, a socio-economic issue, also a political hot button now. Student loan debt in the US has ballooned to such an extent that it's now one of the largest forms of consumer borrowing. And the numbers are staggering. Student debt in the US is over $1.5 trillion. It's the highest in the world, $1.5 trillion. Around 45 million Americans have it. That's roughly 1 in every 5 adults in the country. In 2022, President Biden announced a student debt relief plan. What does the plan propose? Cancellation of student debt up to $20,000 for the economically weak and up to $10,000 for others. This program could cancel over $400 billion in student loans. $400 billion. But there's a big debate over it. Even the Supreme Court has gotten involved. It is mulling the legality of this plan. And while the political fight rages on, millions of Americans are battling a more existential question. Is the cost of education and a potentially better future a price too heavy to pay? The world could be your oyster, but only if you have the funds for it. So keep your checkbook handy.